Depending on where I scored, meth was getting cheaper. I noticed that for the same price, I was getting more of the drug. I'd take it home, and it wasn't the same as the more expensive shit. But still, I thought it was the same, based on how much I was getting for that price. I figured maybe the dealer was his own best customer. When I did the shit a few years back, it helped me focus and get shit done. At first, it did the trick. It also controlled my appetite and made me focus on music. But eventually, I was turning into a zombie. One time, I did a few lines and sat and stared at a whiskey bottle for several hours, talking to myself. My ex-girlfriend called while I was on that trip and told me something I would never forget. You better stop before your kid has to go to your funeral. I think that's all I needed to hear. We had to bury my sister from doing this shit. The shit gave her a massive stroke at 37 years old. She left two boys behind, a 15 and 18-year-old. That was a shit show that could be a Netflix miniseries. Around the time I stopped, there were really scary situations that happened. This time in my life, without a doubt, was the lowest point in my addiction. That moment came when a friend asked if I wanted to help do sound for a conference. I woke up early for the job. Before you could get in, you had to be tested for COVID. The test came back positive. I had to go back home. When I got back, it all came down. I was alone in a trashed apartment. No wife, girlfriend, kid, cat, not even a houseplant. I had to force myself to play the guitar. And in between, my body was falling apart. My fingernails were falling off. Psoriasis everywhere. Scars all over myself from picking dead skin. Booze bottles everywhere in the apartment. It was rare that I turned on the overhead light. It was either a small flashlight or a greenback overhead light. One night, I was sitting on my bare mattress in my room. Suddenly, I saw a mini spotlight shine next to me, a red LED light across the room. The landlord had cameras in the hallway. Did he have them in my room? The handyman said the owner of the building thought I was smoking crack in my place. That pissed me off. I'd never smoke crack, that shit's for losers. I snort meth. Then, all of a sudden, I heard a band playing next door. I could hear them clearly. They were playing a shitty version of Metallica's One. I was just excited to have other musicians around. Then, all of a sudden, I heard them play some of my shit. It was off YouTube because I could hear the commercials between the songs. I went and knocked on their door. "Who's that?" I heard. They didn't answer. I went back to my room, and they kept playing music. A few months later, I realized that the wall where I heard the music wasn't next to an apartment. It was next to a hallway. That scared the shit out of me once I realized that. One day, not too long after that incident, I had to go to a friend's house for something and took an Uber there. It was still early morning and pretty dark. As I got out of the car, a cat ran by me. And when it passed a telephone pole, it vanished. Later on during the day, I realized there was no telephone pole there to begin with. This shit wasn't getting better.